Oh, what's happening, YouTube? Hope everybody's having a great day. It's like another beautiful day in Metro Atlanta, Georgia. Couldn't ask for a better day. I know we're gonna pay for this beautiful weather. That's without a doubt. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. All I need for one to give me a thumbs up. We can start our rant on whatever comes up. It's gonna come out. Man, it's beautiful out here. Whew. Yeah, I usually sit and wait patiently for about 2 minutes, get a couple of people in, and we can start, or I can start chatting. You know, it's kind of difficult to read each and every one of these comments, but towards the end of my chat, I usually scroll back up and see if anybody had anything interesting or controversial to say. Usually not. Well, I can't say that, but 50% of y'all always have something great to say. So if you're already in the house, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're out there. And we can start this thing rolling the best way we can. That's with active members. And if you haven't already subscribed, you know, like always, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, all that good stuff. I don't know about y'all, but as beautiful as it is right now, and as great as it's gonna be tomorrow, Friday, I might have to burn a vacation day. I'm really feeling it deep down inside. Managed to get about 4 laps in. The key is I'm not trying to push myself. You know, just take it in stride. Cooped up all winter, even though it wasn't that cold. But we all typically use the wintertime as an excuse to just lay up. So if you're already in, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're in this building with me. This great building known as Outside, and then we can start chatting. So can I get a hello or a thumbs up? It's gonna be a quiet crowd tonight, I see. I hate to just start off just going all in. Within 15 minutes, few people come in and I have to start all over again. So, you know, hey, hi there, fishing kid. You know, I got this sun coming at me from a side angle, so y'all forgive me if I don't see y'all names right off the bat. I am outside in this beautiful park on this beautiful Friday evening. Oh, I'm sorry, Thursday evening. I was just talking about playing hooky tomorrow, so I got Friday on my brain. Y'all gotta excuse me for that. I may have to burn a vacation day tomorrow. But anyway, I'm in the Metro Atlanta area on the west side, also known as Douglasville, Georgia. This weather is absolutely great. Got my little walks in. Hello to you all. Like I say, the sun is hitting me from this way, so it's hard to see everybody's name right off the bat. Looks like we got red meat, silly sausage. Okay, we'll get some people in here. So once again, my name is Warren. I prefer Mistapagan. That's exactly how it's spelled and how it's pronounced, Mistapagan. Has no affiliation with any type of religious beliefs. Pagan or pagan, if you will, is one of my middle names. So me being a man, Mr. Pagan made sense. It has stuck with me for 25, 30 years. You know, I use it in my various email accounts as well. So on today's random subjects, let's talk about circling back. You know, and I'm guilty of that. You know, I've hit a couple of them in my past, couple of young ladies, and they were good to me, and I circled back. I circled the block. But oddly enough, it's usually the ones that I'm not that seriously involved with. It's usually like just some, just somebody, just something to do. You know what I'm saying? And then either lose interest in them or you lose communication with them. And somehow you both reconnect 6 months, maybe a year later, and you already both know you're feeling each other all over again. So you both want to go back and you both want to reconnect. Now, the thing of it is, I don't mind circling back, but I'm not circling back with the intent on trying to make it something serious when in the beginning it was just playtime. Some of the best relationships do grow from friends with benefits, if you will. And that's exactly what it was, friends with benefits. And the benefit was I would help her out with things around the house or just, help her out with whatever here or there. And we had an attraction for each other, so it was a no-brainer. Doing good, Juicer, and everybody else, I'm doing just fine. So we would help each other out. Y'all got to see this. I'm trying to shield myself from that sun hitting in the side of my eye. The pollen already got me. Now the sun is just seems like it's baking it inside my eye. But anyway, circling back, I have no issues with that. With in mind that it's the right person, especially when you and that person don't hold back, and you can bring out the freak in each other or the kinks in each other. So that's when you got a real strong connection. Now, if I'm a fool with somebody and they're not on that level, and I'm not talking about, blowing nobody back out all night. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just that pure, just raw, just gutter with it, just nasty. And if y'all got that same connection, even when you double back after you've been away from each other for a while, it tends to even get into stronger because you've developed more skills, they've developed more skills. And I would like to say for the last many years, my weakest connection has been with somebody that's not adventurous enough for me. I need some adventure. Yeah, I did the whole let's go out to dinner, let's go to a movie, and we end up where we end up. I did all that when I was younger, and it worked. It was fine. But I'm not a spring chicken. So not only do I lose attention fast, my attention span is short. If you're not keeping me occupied, I'm gonna lose interest in you anyway. One of my biggest gripes is, and I say this too, I've been saying this ever since people started doing it. I'm the type that if I'm gonna send you a message, and if it's another dope message and it's just straight nasty, just fresh thought, fresh out of my mind in the morning, and she playing with me with all those emojis in response, she's not on that level. Because that tells me one thing: even when we get face to face, she's not going to be able to be as assertive and straightforward. I like a verbal woman in my life. I want you to be able to talk. If I'm asking you questions and asking you how does this work, how's that, how's it feeling, but I'm giving 90% of the conversation doing the act, I'm bored with it. And I'm not talking about all that screaming and heavy breathing. Nah, you're going to have to talk to me. I can go either way. You can tell me how good it is, or you can tell me it's trash. If you start talking to me like I'm a piece of trash and I ain't to you, that's going to turn me on even more. So, it is what it is. Some people like the mild. Some people like that calm, easygoing, love making. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. But foreplay starts. For me, foreplay will start early that day, early that morning. It's not going to start the minute you show up. I'm going to start saying little things, sending you little messages, reminding you of we're going to pick up where we left off, because this whole thing can be done in stages. We ain't going to be starting over every time. So wherever we stopped, we're going to pick up from there. I'm not going to go back to the last 2 weeks and start push reset. We're going to keep it going, because once you strike that iron and the iron is hot, you keep going. You don't keep starting over. Why are you going to go back to square one next Tuesday again and start all that mess all over again? You've gotten her to this point, or she's gotten you to this point. Y'all are elevating each other freak level. So when you get back together, it should be elevated from there. Then you go up. You don't go backwards. And when she starts to question me about, oh, I can't believe what we did. We ain't gonna even talk about that. That was last time. It was great. Because I feel like what'll end up happening then, they're gonna do two things. They're gonna talk themselves out of another good time and talk you out of a good time. Because people are so quick to get into feeling bad once things start getting real serious that way. Yesterday, yeah, I got on one, I stayed on one about relationships and these grown boys. I don't want to get on that today. That was yesterday. It's still up. That's my postings are saved. So if you want to go back, I'm going to do my best not to keep talking about the same thing every day or confronting the same people with their mess every day. I think that's a waste of my time. But I do enjoy a good time. And I don't run around here telling these women I'm a freak. They be telling me that. Well, what do you mean? What did I do that was so freaky? And it may be something I thought was normal. It may be something I thought was normal. I said this to one lady, and I've said this several times. This one lady caught on to it because she knew. I told her. She was asking me some questions about sex. And I said, well, one thing about me, I clean up real well. And she knew exactly what I was talking about. And I'm not going to tell y'all. Y'all got to figure it out for yourselves. Just figure it out for yourselves. And I know I got to try to keep this all clean and all this kind of stuff. Once I get more accustomed to YouTube and their whatevers. Back when I was younger, my biggest thing was trying to juggle 2 or 3 women and keep it on an even level, even playing field, if you will. Now, back in oh my God, this was so long ago. This was before I was even ever married to anybody. I actually stayed with a woman. And she allowed one of her girlfriends to stay there for a while. They worked together. And her friend tried me, and I responded in kind. Funny thing is, my girlfriend knew about it, and we talked about it, and she was like, hey, I'm perfectly fine with it. This, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. And she said, oh, by the way. So she started telling me about the guy she had been dating on the side, that worked up there near where she worked at. I said, oh, you mean the one that when I came home earlier that day and y'all was on the couch going at it and I closed the door and eased back out? You talking about that guy? I never seen somebody so dark skinned turn so pale. She's like, oh my God, you saw that? You didn't even say that? I'm like, no. Because I already told you. We're young. We live together, but apparently we're not that deeply involved with each other. So it is what it is. And so her and I started talking about it. And I started asking her questions and what made her choose him and what he did to her and all these things. And let me just say, it ended up with her and I being as more passionate as we ever been once she started talking about their little situation. And she was like, oh my God, you're not mad about this? You seem to be getting turned on. I said, no, because it's not what you did, but you explaining it, and I'm looking you dead in your face, and I'm seeing that twinkle in your eye. That's saying something. That ain't for everybody. Like I say, this kind of game ain't for everybody. I don't know. Some might say it takes a strong man to put up with that, or it takes a weak man to put up with that. It's a matter of perspective, how you look at it. Because I don't care for a boring relationship. And I'm not saying normal sex is boring, but I'm just saying I have experienced so much and been in parties and been in, swinger clubs and just butt nakedness everywhere. So it's hard to go back to The walking down the beach, you know, 2 wine glasses, a bottle of wine, you know, that TV stuff. I mean, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It is. Trust me, it's all right. But as long as I got breath in my body, and y'all know when we get older, certain things might stop. It ain't gonna be like it was when you were 25, but that's when you reinvent yourself. I think the older I got, the more I started learning how to use more common sense when I approach somebody. You know, I do. And I've always been like that. And for the longest, I've had I got a little friend for the longest that keeps me occupied. And let me tell y'all something. It's something about that little thing right there. She does for me. She does it, and she knows it. She knows it. She even knows how to piss me off enough to turn me on. Like, you find one like that, you got yourself. Yeah, you gonna keep her around, regardless of her situation, regardless of her marital situation, whatever she got going on. She doubles back. She doubles back because she likes the experimentation. She likes when I experiment with her. Go figure, huh? And I tease her about it. You know, I tease her. And she would ask me, she said, well, what's on your mind this week if I come over? I say, it depends what you've been doing. And she started telling me about what she did, you know, things that, you know. So this week, you're going to have to deny me no matter what you tell me. I can't touch you. I can't do nothing. You just, and she does it. Turn on. Because I like being all over the board. I'm not going to be just that one trick pony. And, you know, because if I'm going to get there, and we going to do this missionary every time, that's just like being married for a while. Things stop working because we all get comfortable. It ain't that you can't. And that's the fault of both people in a lot of cases. You know, you just get bored with it. You know, and it slows you down. That's one of the reasons why now people always say, well, you don't want to die alone. Well, unless I got a twin out here I don't know about. I was born alone. I mean, it's not gonna if we all could choose how we go. Everybody say in my sleep. Nobody gonna say going down in a flaming airplane, or falling into a volcano, or stepping on a pothole to hell. Nobody gonna say that. Everybody wanna go in their sleep. I don't know how that's gonna happen. You know, when that time comes, be prepared for it. Some people are fortunate enough to go in their sleep. But anyway, I'm not gonna get on that. I'm not gonna bore y'all with that kind of stuff. But I'm just that person that I wouldn't say open-minded, because I hate using that term, because a lot of times when people say, well, I'm open-minded, no, they're not. No, they're not. They don't have nothing to say. They don't have nothing to add. They'll just sit there and listen to you talking, and they don't have anything. You know, I just like having a good time. Matter of fact, that same the friend just hit me up. I was on the way to the park and asked me for a favor. It wasn't even about money, but it involved something else. And I said, well, that's gonna cost you. She said, I already know. That's why I asked you. See that right there? And she never asked what it's gonna be. I just do whatever. And I like that. I don't have to explain it. She ain't gonna question it. Nothing like that. She just go with it. And the beauty of it is, she trusts me with everything that she says. And I'm not gonna put her name out here. I'm not give any type of information that's gonna make somebody wonder if that's who I'm talking about. I'm just saying, when you find something like that, as they say, a little pocket rocket, yeah, it don't matter how old you get. Why y'all think these old men be out here with these little young women? Because they excite them. Yeah, you may not have nothing in common. The only thing you got in common is you both got bills. You may not have a whole lot in common, but that old dude ain't thinking about that. That old dude want that. He want that rocket to blast off, and she do it for him. She do it for him. That's why a lot of, as they say, old heads or unks or whatever y'all calling us these days. That's why we do it. That's why I tell all these women my age, the minute they meet me, they all start talking about all this traveling and going every which way. And first of all, I don't even know you. I don't even know if I'm able to put up with you for one night, let alone an entire weekend or a week on a cruise. I don't know. And if I wanted to go travel with somebody at random, trust and believe it gonna be some young tight body thing. Legal, of course. Preferably 35, 40. You know, there's nothing wrong with me going off with somebody close to my age, but I gotta get to know you first, because that trip is gonna be totally different from what we can do. We're gonna sit there and talk about how they almost took our cold medicine and our medication from us when we were going through TSA. Or we gonna get there and I'm gonna send her to the bar and sit on the edge of the bar and just watch her flirt with the little young thing. She go up there and flirt. You know, that shit is enticing as hell. Y'all just don't know. We don't have a connection. You know, she likes to flaunt like that. Come on over. Yeah, you come over and see me. I'm at the house. Randomly, she just leave her panties over there. Just leave them. On the way out there, we ain't did nothing. We sitting there talking. Matter of fact, that's all we be doing. Here, I got something for you. Put that to your collection. See, it's little things like that. I don't know. I can care less. YouTube ain't gonna ban me over no mess like this, y'all. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about, you know. And bottom line is, y'all better get creative. I'm not a professional. I didn't write the book on all this stuff. This been going on since beginning of time. I was watching this young lady. I think she was on the talk, because I don't like name dropping other platforms, but she was on the talk. She was talking about these young ladies out here. Talking about they ain't got no money for this and got no money for that. And she had the nerve. I can tell she was old school, but I liked her. She said, y'all little girls don't realize something. First of all, I didn't like when she said little girls, but you know, y'all young ladies don't realize something. You sitting on $50 an hour. Lady, $50 an hour, you selling yourself at bargain basement discount. You sitting on a gold mine. I don't know one young lady out here that will go for $50 an hour. Not one. And even the ones that's not even a 3, not gonna go for $50 an hour. Cause even if she a 3, and you talking about these teens out here, guess what? It's some dude out there that's gonna go for that 3 and gonna bid her out at top dollar. But when that lady said $50 an hour, she was giving, I don't know, 1975 prices, 1982 prices, I don't know. But I was like, damn, how old school is this chick? You know, she had a dirty mouth too. I was like, oh damn, she right up my alley. She talking that tight, she talking that talk. But when she said that $50 an hour, I'm like, and then that whole negotiation part. Look here, ladies, y'all start asking these men. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Start asking these men for how long. Stop, y'all need to stop that. Because any man that knows this, and he knows that game, and he knows that it's just a financial transaction, he ain't paying to keep you, he paying to get rid of you. So the faster you go on, the faster he can go on back to his whatever he was doing, drinking his beer, working on his old school. Yeah. Just come through, don't come stay. Come through. Yeah, just come through, just roll through, do what you gotta do. And as this thing starts to grow and my subscribers get better and then YouTube don't ban me, I'm gonna have some deep stuff to talk about. But like I said yesterday, it's gonna be some late night stuff. That's gonna be that Friday night, Saturday morning, 1 a.m. type of stuff. And it's only gonna stay up for as long as I'm talking about it. And by the time I lay my head down and roll over at 6 o'clock Saturday morning, it will be deleted. Or maybe I'll delete it right after I get through talking about it. I don't know yet. But it's not going to be something that I'm going to want to leave on here. I ain't worried about who see it. Who going to whoop me? I ain't worried about that. But it's just certain things that you do and you say. Like they say, there's a time and place for everything. So with that being said, I can talk about a whole lot of things, but I'm gonna be very careful as to what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute, hold on. Adam, what do you mean slowing down time and not hurrying stuff? I can agree with you on that because I've never been the type that's been in a rush for anything. You know, I like to take my time. And when I catch myself rushing, I have to take a step back. You know, and it's hurry up and do it right now, and everybody got to have it right now, all this work right now. I don't operate that way. You know, I really don't. But anyway, the whole idea of dating for me is, at this point, a sport. Because everybody, it seems like everybody I meet, and I said that I meet, I ain't saying every woman. There are too many motives and too many games. But they don't want a man to play games. But you can see right through them. You know, you can look at their pictures on their profile and you can tell. You can tell within the first conversation where that's gonna go. Oh, the boldness is out there. They got all these major plans for you. We gonna go here. I want somebody to take me here. I like fine dining, candlelit dinners, and this, that, and the third. I'm not looking for sex. Well, first of all, I gotta be attracted to you before we even start talking about sex. And I ain't saying just cause I take you to dinner, we gonna do something. But don't start running off about all these things. You got a checklist of 15 things, and you're immediately telling these men that you cut off. But good luck with that. You know, unless he's celibate and he's not interested in it at all. And then 6 months from now, a year from now, y'all still hanging around each other, y'all in a relationship, then you wondering, hell, he don't even never try that with me. Something must be wrong with him. You telling your girlfriends, we hadn't even been intimate. Well, wait a minute. You threw that red flag up from day one. And he said he could respect that he respected it. But now something wrong with him. See, be careful what you ask for, because you're going to get it. Y'all stop putting up all these stipulations if you don't mean it. I mean, we can establish that right off the bat. There won't be none of that. Tell me. Okay, well, Warren, just so you know, I ain't even into all this sex. Okay, well, we ain't gotta have sex with each other. Just cause you don't want it. Okay. All right. And if you ask me, I'll be honest with you. Oh yeah. I could have been seeing you 3 months. I ain't laid a finger on you. And you asked me, well, when the last time you were with somebody? 2 weeks ago. Because remember what I said, we don't have to have sex with each other. I never said I wasn't going to. And trust me, I ain't out here trying to screw everything 4 or 5 days a week. I ain't, no, I'm beyond that. But I still like what I like. I like my fun. You know, I enjoy what I do. As we should. Y'all gotta excuse me. This little sexy lady walking past in front of me. She all moving in slow motion and everything. Whew. I ain't gonna turn my camera around. Y'all so damn nosy, a bunch of freaks. This is my view. You should have been out here with me. But y'all check out this backdrop. Y'all can't tell me this is not a perfect day. It's perfect. Nice and cool. I don't sleep with my windows open because I just hate things crawling in. I got a nice fan. I can't sleep with a fan that's turned off. I gotta have a fan going on. If a friend comes over and if they want to sleep naked, okay, let's do it. They want to sleep wrapped up, okay, let's do it. You know, but trust and believe, when I get up in the morning, you getting up with me. You know, I got errands to do, or I gotta go to work, or I can hang out till you get off. No, you can't. What the hell? We ain't like that. We ain't that kind of relationship. I got out of that car a little ways ago. And every time that woman was at my house, I hated the fact that she was there and I was at work because she was making a damn mess. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. To my standards, she was. I'm not calling her a pig, but to my standards, she was making a mess. Everything was just out of place. She even tried to claim one of my closets with her stuff. No, you gotta take that stuff back home. Every time you came, you had more stuff. Why do I have 4 of your coats over here in my closet? Well, you never know. Well, you ain't moving in. You got a whole big old house over there that you brag about. And you got 4 closets full of clothes. And why you gotta start bringing them over here? Yeah, if you got some underwear, change of clothes, that's fine. But she was filling up fast. I had to put a stop to that. What she was doing, trying to mark her territory. And I still had my little side, She didn't care about that. She didn't care about that. Nah. You get involved with the right person, they're not gonna be concerned with that. Because they know that they're there for one thing. Because y'all got that kinky attraction to each other. And when you get a kinky attraction with somebody, you don't want to confuse that with a relationship. Unless y'all just happen to be in a relationship. And like I was saying the other day, you discover each other's kinks. And I'm sure that a few of you that listen to those posts have yet to sit down with your spouse and discuss some of those kinks and desires and fetishes and fantasies and secrets and all this stuff. Do it. You ain't got nothing to lose. The worst they can do is say no. Or I'm not into X, Y, and Z. But you still want to discuss some alternatives. Because you're going to sit there and get bored, then you're going to start tipping. Ain't no sense for that. Yeah, I've been in relationships. Yeah, I've cheated. Yeah, I've been cheated on. I mean, majority of society has or has done it. It's not as taboo as it used to be. There are actually people that are out here that in relationships and their spouses are perfectly fine with them getting a little strange here and there. And they're actually strong couples. So you can't let the jealousy get the best of you. Now, I said one thing today when I got off, and if I decided to do live, I wasn't going to press my issue about work again. Because I found myself mentioning it on almost every recording and every live. I'm mentioning it now just to say I'm not going to talk about it. There's a lot of other things I can be talking about. I don't talk about politics, and I don't talk about religion. That's just my personal preference. We have enough professionals that do that real good. But there's more than once again on the way to work, that one particular church, and I know it's Easter time coming up, and I know they doing whatever they doing overnight, in the middle of the night, all morning long. But y'all gotta stop letting these folks leave this church, this big mega church, during rush hour. Can you move your time back up a little bit? Maybe if you move your time up to release these people maybe an hour earlier, because y'all got the whole damn street blocked off and backed up. Now you got people honking their horns. Some may say that's disrespectful to the church, but why y'all got everybody late for work? For your own selfish satisfaction. That's when it becomes selfish. That's what any type of establishment, they can let them out 45 minutes, an hour early. Every morning this week when I go by there, whole damn street blocked off. Horns are honking. People blowing up. People, you can look over the car next to you and they just cussing. And I know they know it's church function, but damn, can't y'all work on your timing at least? There are other people that have to actually get to work. So they can keep bringing this money to these building funds and to keep growing these mega mansions and all this stuff. So, yeah, it's gonna be like that again tomorrow. I already know. But I kind of want to take me a vacation day. I might have to do that tomorrow. and then fill my tank up and just head south somewhere and stop when I get 4 hours away. I've done that before. And just wound up in some little small town, still in the state of Georgia. Checked in. Hotel had a bar and a restaurant, nothing to brag about, but they turned out they had entertainment, so that was great. I may do something like that. So it looks like everybody's hi Tiffany. If I didn't speak to you already, I apologize, but hello to everybody. If you're still with me, if you got anything you would like to add, by all means, go ahead. Be my guest. But my thing is, and sometimes I see these chats and I see them rolling by. Once or twice I've entertained the little idiots, but I'm gonna let them have their piece. Just like I'm just gonna act like they're not even there, because I don't think I should take time away from everybody else's busy schedule and watching me and catering to some ignorant person. So I don't believe in that. I mean, I clap back once or twice, but I can't do that every day. Like I said, if you want a one-on-one, we can do a one-on-one, but we can't do it like this every day. Let's figure out how we can make it where it can be interactive for everybody. I think that's the best way to do it. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna keep being me, keep doing what I'm doing. CJ, how you doing, man? Just keep being me. Keep loving who I love and forgetting those that need to be forgotten. And I do mean that. Because I don't spend a lot of time grieving and griping over somebody. You had a point. You was in my life. You exited my life. Yeah. And like I say, that first one, to this day, still trying to get back in. Nah. Nah, you can't come back. You had to you showed the whole world how much you despise me and you couldn't stand me no more. You want to get away from me after I helped you to elevate. And then when you came crashing back down and burning, you thought you was going to just get back in? Nah. I only play Captain Saver one time per female. I don't play Captain Saver twice. No, I don't. I save you once. Then when you screw that up, you don't get a second chance. It didn't come with no coupon. Captain Saver once per. And when I saved you and I dusted you off and I pretty much got you out of that gut of a job you had, when you got up here, oh yeah. But now look at you. You still calling, you still texting. You still trying to figure out how you gonna get back in. No, hell no. No. And I ain't gonna sit here and lie and say I was being all tough about it. Yeah, she left, blah, blah, blah. Nah. It did hurt, but it didn't hurt as bad. You know what I'm saying? You've been with somebody for a while, you're gonna love them. You know what I'm saying? But when it's time for them to go, especially when it's time for them to screw up, telling y'all, like I said last week, these people aren't leaving you. They're being removed from your life. Just keep thinking about it that way. It wasn't all that good in the beginning. Everybody got their own faults. I wasn't a great person in none of my relationships, but I was just being myself. And as long as you be yourself, you're gonna be fine. The mosquitoes started to get at me, boy. I don't know what the world going on. I didn't know they was out already. Hey, CJ, all is well. But but back to what I was saying, y'all, I'm the type of person, everything about me has got to be entertaining when I meet somebody. I can't do boring. I can't have a woman come in my life and instantly start trying to change me or church me up, or I explain to them that I'm not a babysitter. I'm not trying to be step anything. You got whatever you got going on in your life, that's all fine and good. If you got 5 or 6 grandkids and you keep them every weekend, I won't be over there. I'm not trying to tell you. So when you got time, you can slide by and see me. But no, I don't done that. I'm played stepdaddy. I done my couple of tours of duty with that. No, hell no, not again. And if you my age and you got little bitty ones, we ain't finna talk no way, cause I don't have time to wait for them to get out of high school and go to college. And then me and you be in our 70s and 80s. Well, you lost your mind. And one lady did tell me that was selfish, but I can afford to be selfish because you didn't hear nothing what I said to you. I've done all that stuff, so I can afford to be selfish. And there are a few good women out here that don't even have any kids, that's in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. They may be a little fucked up. They may have some reasons why they didn't have any kids, but hey, you don't have to deal with that mess. Oh yeah, they come with the mess. And I'm not saying all of them, but 9 times out of 10, when you get that, it's gonna come with it. And I don't want to be a part of it. That's all. I want my life to remain peaceful and as carefree as possible. And when I meet somebody, when I do meet them that day on that same level, we have peaceful, carefree time together. Random stuff, adventurous stuff. But when it starts to fizzle out, and we're not that serious with each other anyway, we just got to move on. I'm probably good. Somebody can probably get a good 3 to 6 months out of me per relationship. I can't say it's gonna be long term. I don't know. But if we just, when I'm by myself, I have no problem sitting at home on my couch watching TV or on YouTube or studying. But if I'm involved with you and we both sit here doing the same thing, no, we just two bored ass people. I don't need that. Because when I get random, I may decide to just jump up and go at any given time. And then I gotta hear, well, where you going? I thought we was gonna chill. Well, not today, hon. Today I gotta go. I got things to do. Brand 25, how you doing? I'm gonna keep all these things short. Kind of hard to keep up with all these names. But anyway, I keep things simple. I keep it straightforward. Like I said, I'm not a professional on relationships and all these things. I just know what works for me. And when you find what works for you, and you find that special person that y'all complement each other well, elevate it. If not, get away from it. But as for me, like I say, I like adventure. The wilder the better. And at least we can have a conversation about it. Because when I meet somebody, we're going to have that conversation. We're going to talk openly about it. I don't know why people think you have to be hush-hush when it comes to discussing your love life. But don't you want to know what that person's about? Don't you want to know what you're getting yourself into when you meet them? I sure the hell do. That doesn't always guarantee or mean we're gonna be intimate, but still, I want to know. I want to know what's going on. I like to know. It's just that simple for me. But yeah, y'all, get ready to pack it in. Get back in this vehicle and head home. I got my little 4 laps in. I'm gonna take the long way back around the other way and head back to my car. That'll give me a good 4 3/4 laps. Because if I end up making a 5, I end up back where I am. So I'll have to keep going till I narrow it down. But y'all have a safe evening and even a better day tomorrow. I think here in the Metro Atlanta area, it's gonna be another beautiful day. So I gotta see if I want to burn me on vacation day or not. I think I'm going to. But anyway, I may be back on here later on once I get home and get me some allergy medicine in my system. I feel my voice already starting to crack up, so I'm gonna rest my voice until I get home, Or maybe have me a good shot of tequila. What do y'all think? Tequila or brandy tonight? I think I have tequila. But anyway, y'all stay safe. And I may be back on later on tonight. If I get back on, maybe like 10 o'clock, I may get on one series. I feel like renting a Raven. I feel like going left. So give me a minute to think about what has pissed me off lately. And until then, y'all stay tuned. Later.